Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community. Today I want to talk about Starfield and all gaming on all the devices I've gamed it on. So here's what we're going to be talking about ultimately today. We're going to be talking about Starfield on the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, and the PC. And all the varying different ways, because you'd be surprised how many different ways there are to play this. Let's welcome in some peeps, which is Wolf. I know I should have done a slightly different topic, but Wolf, how's it going? You doing good, Wolf? If it's a slower night today, maybe we will play some Starfield. Okay, hold up. Let me make sure that I'm getting all of chat real quick. And then there we go. How you doing, Wolf? Doing good? Okay, let's see. Cool. Chad, what's up? How's it going? Wolf is doing good. Okay. Posting in Discord. Good. Thanks, Wolf. Yeah, no. Yeah. There's a lot of topics I need to cover in some of these streams that I just haven't been able to cover yet. Let me make a few notes as we wait for people to trickle on in. We are going to talk about, like I said a little earlier, if anyone is popping in again, we're going to be talking about Starfield, different devices, the podcast, and just how things are playing. Like it's meant to be a more chill. I plan on doing this for about an hour. I know I say that every time, but I'm serious this time. Serious, guys. It's going to be about an hour because then we can go play some Starfield on Twitch if we have the time. Let's see here. Give me 1 second as I'm taking some notes. Okay. Wolf, what's posting on Discord? How are you guys? Chad for cereal. Okay. So, this might be a topic that the channel, it's an interesting thing. With Starfield coming out, it's very controversial. I'll give my take. Let's start out with giving my take on how Starfield is, and then I'll give my take. And while you're welcome, Richie, and while you guys are trickling in, or while you're watching, if you have questions, make sure to @me, and I will answer your questions, whether it be about anything. You can ask me anything, but if you want, I'd prefer to stick within the Starfield and some of these devices and how they plays it and all that stuff. So, Starfield is a really good game for some. I would say if you're a typical Bethesda fan, you're going to probably like Starfield just fine. Starfield plays it very safe when it comes to what the base game is. If you wanted something that was going to be the next Bethesda game where it takes all its past pieces and stitches something newer together, a little bit more evolutionarily wise, then I think a lot of people will be disappointed. Skyrim, I don't think it was as... I think the jump from like, let's say, Oblivion to Skyrim was about as big as like Fallout 4 or Skyrim to this game. The difference is that Skyrim and Oblivion's gaps are much smaller than the gap of I believe honestly Fallout 4, or I'm not going to count Fallout 76. That's just a big exception. But Fallout 4 and Dead Space, or not Dead Space, Starfield. And the reason I say that is because they're very more similar than Skyrim and Starfield. And arguably, I think Fallout 4 might have brought more mechanics to it than maybe. I don't know. Because Starfield has the building. It has the flight, which those two mechanics, I guess, alone are just brand new. Like, outposts, yes, you could go and do settlements in Fallout 4, but I would almost consider them pretty different. It is a evolutionary piece, but it's very different. So, at the end of the day, I can see why some people are disappointed. Starfield has been in the works for a long time. It's been essentially dreamed up of for like 20 plus years. And it really is interesting to see. Like I personally like Starfield a lot. I would give it a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. It's my type of game though. 100%. And as much as I like Baldur's Gate 3, Baldur's Gate 3 is good. Starfield is just more, like, honestly, game of the year would go to probably Baldur's Gate 3. While Starfield is amazing, I recognize that Baldur's Gate 3 is just a better game. I'm going to play Starfield more. It's my type of game. I love the D&D style of Baldur's Gate 3, but if they would have made it into a first-person adventure game, honestly, if Baldur's Gate 3 had the same story, but with a little bit different mechanics for controlling, like in Starfield, probably. And I'm more of a sci-fi person. I'd like that game a little bit more. It's just different strokes kind of thing for different folks. Whether or not that's appropriate, it's. That's my take on my initial take. I could go very deep into a review and what Starfield is. I definitely think it's not for everyone. If you're a diehard fantasy person with Skyrim, you probably won't like Starfield that much, even though it's not. It goes past the sci-fi realm. It doesn't go too far past the sci-fi realm. It does. It is not a fantasy game. Welcome, Real Savage. Cool, sir, welcome. Oh, wow. I come on and we talk about... Oh, my gosh. Well, cool, sir. I apologize. You came on at the wrong time. We weren't talking about stroking. It's just different things for different people. Pause. The Real Savage, welcome. Raichi, give Obsidian a year and they will recycle Starfield and create a 11 out of 10 game. So Obsidian is in the middle of working on their next game, which is going to be interesting because Outer Worlds is a good game. I actually really liked Outer Worlds' story. I will have to say, I think the story in Outer Worlds is better than Starfield so far. Even though Starfield has very deep areas, the scripts they wrote, some of the stuff, and it just feels 2D. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, where it is a little bit better of an evolution from some of the past Bethesda games. I think the fantasy style Bethesda games worked out okay, even though it was very mechanical, very not smooth in a lot of their interactions with people because it was fantasy. Starfield is about as close to our world as you're going to get in a Bethesda game so far. At least in a Bethesda open world game. When we compare Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and Starfield. Starfield has it's NASA punk, meaning it's an evolutionary chain off of where we are essentially at right now with our space program. So it is interesting to see how this branches off and essentially it's a libertarian's wet dream for space colonization, almost. In a lot of ways, depending on the different factions you have, of course, but all of them are fairly interesting. Okay, let's get into a couple of people's comments. Welcome, Necrosphere. Okay, let's see. Obsidian Masterpiece from Recycle Games, Couture 2 and Fallout New Vegas. Obsidian, excuse me. They were from Recycled Games, kind of. I really do think Outer Worlds did a really good job. I thought Outer Worlds was amazing. But very limited. When you compare Outer Worlds to Starfield, completely different games. Completely different games. It's crazy how like they're sci-fi space games and they are very different. It's interesting to see how it's different. I know. How many ways can I say different? They differ. They're different. They are the opposite. No, they're not the opposite. But Starfield has true exploration. You can go off onto different planets, explore. Outer Worlds gave you the concept that you potentially could when you really can't. It's a very limited. I've traveled pretty much all over Outer Worlds that you can. It's not a very... They split up what would be like a Fallout New Vegas world into multiple planets. It's not that big of a game. Nothing wrong with that. They're not as big as Bethesda. I do think there's a lot hinging on Outer Worlds 2, and I bet you it's going to be a bridge between Starfield and Outer Worlds 1. I'm a big sci-fi nerd. I'm a big space nerd. So I'm going to nerd out about this type of stuff on here. We'll get to other things, so don't worry on that. Coulter, no more stroking talk. Okay, yeah, we're gotta keep. Let's calm down. Peaceful music, Coulter. Hey, yeah, well, this is Roppy. Am I just reading things wrong? Savage, aka Scissorapi. Okay, welcome. Okay, I must have just missed stuff. Hey, Necrosphere, what's your take on No Man's Sky versus Starfield? No problems, Wolf. So, my take, yeah, no biggie, Wolf. So my take with Starfield versus No Man's Sky, very different games. And I've seen so many people love doing hot takes. People love being like decisively ridiculous, I think is a good way to put it, is that they will say, oh, I can't do this one thing in Starfield. Automatically, sorry, I need to get okay, there we go. I can't do this one thing in Starfield. Automatically, No Man's Sky is better. I can take my ship, fly out of the atmosphere and go through space and go to another planet and land. And so that automatically makes it a better game. And each to their own opinion. I think that's silly, and that's fun for the first little while. It does get very tiring in No Man's Sky after just a few planets, and the diversity isn't like... It's obvious that it's generated. Like the different planets, everything is procedurally generated. It's cool. I love it. I want to see more of it, in the sense of I want to see that evolve into even better systems. But there's just something you can't beat in a handcrafted experience. Starfield is a great example of this. A lot of little places are handcrafted, while other parts are. And I've gone and looted the same facility 3 times so far. I've played the game for almost 30 hours. Not even scrap. I've probably been to 10 planets, and there's like 1,000 planets. There's no way I'm going to get to even inkling, like just a little bit of the planets. There's just no way. So wrapping back up to Starfield and No Man's Sky, I don't think it's fair to compare them. I think they are drastically different games. I think one is a space simulator. The other one is a space adventure. Different in my opinion. The adventure of Starfield is molded to what you like, kind of helps you along. There, you can't do every little thing in it, but you can do a lot in it. And the narrative and the certain things are kind of guided and or maybe reproduced to be more adventure-esque. Where, like I said, it's No Man's Sky. You're out there, got to build your fort, got to survive, got to find all the just everything. It's such a different game. If you're all about flying spaceships, shooting, talking to people, finding interesting things, I think Starfield's great. If you're all about just along for the ride of I want to survive, I want to go to different places, I want to go to weird places, then go for it. Like there is that's the difference. I think there is an overlap between Starfield and No Man's Sky. I don't think it's a 1-to-1. I don't think if you like one or the other, you're gonna like the if you like one, doesn't mean you're gonna like the other. And that's kind of my take on the whole thing. I'm going to play a lot more Starfield than I am No Man's Sky. For the sole reason that I've played past Bethesda games. I know what to expect. I like the story enough. Like, I don't need to have a groundbreaking story for every game I play. If you offer other elements that are interesting, like this game makes it so that I'm collecting junk, selling it, buying more parts for my spaceship. I am going and talking to interesting people at times. Some people are just ridiculous. Other people are funny and whatnot. It has the Starfield character charm / weirdness where you talk to some people, they act so uncanny where you're like, people like made fun of Mass Effect Andromeda. Yes, it had, like, when it first came out, had bad animations and some bad character design. But I do feel like they felt more like human in Andromeda. In a weird way, people are going to be shocked. I think Andromeda is a potentially slightly better game than Starfield. It's very hard to say that, though, because, once again, these are different games. Both adventure, but the way they play is very different. I don't know. Maybe I won't say Andromeda's better. It's interesting. What I was hoping for was, and this is kind of what I was hoping for, and we'll get back into the chat again. I was hoping that Starfield would be a little bit more Mass Effect and a little less maybe Skyrim-esque. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. I was hoping for a little bit of an evolutionary piece to where I have my companions. I have a little bit better combat. I have... and maybe they do a little bit, but I can't tell. It's not it's not a jump, and it doesn't jump enough from one to the other. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like Starfield is a drastically better game, and that's why I'm edging between 9 and 10s on my kind of review out of 10 score, of course. When I get done with it, probably on the Brink channel. I don't know. I'm trying to go back and forth on what channels I do stuff because I'm trying not to do too much on one channel or the other. But I'll give a pretty good laydown of what in like a 10, 20, maybe 30-minute thing on Starfield. Because I think it deserves it. I think it's an amazing game. I'm very disappointed that there's outlets out there that have given it 7 out of 10. IGN, the America branch. I'm really sad that some companies gave it 10 out of 10s, where I'm like, depending on what their ratings, some companies will just give 10 and 10s anywhere. It all depends on the person that's playing it. This is like, and we'll get back into this a little bit, and I'm going to say hi to people. Starfield is for some. It's definitely not for others. I feel like Fallout and Skyrim or the Elder Scrolls maybe have a little bit broader of an audience to bring in. Like, maybe it's just my guess. Starfield, I feel like alienates enough to where we'll see. I think there's more gamers nowadays, so I think it will do better sales wise. But I am curious if a Skyrim was released today, or an Elder Scrolls, and Starfield, and which one would do better. I would assume Starfield or Elder Scrolls. Even as much as I like Starfield, I'd still do Starfield over another Elder Scrolls. But once again, space nerd here. Okay. It does need a little bit more horror, but you know what? There's the Terramorphs, which are kind of a cool bad guy. Really weird, almost verging on fantasy at times with that story, but we'll see. I haven't figured that fully out. Okay. Wolf's doing cardio and trying to type. Chalice, welcome. And let's welcome in Andre. It's been a while, Cascoder. Let's see here. Let's get in some chat a little bit. Chalice, been playing it on Steam Deck via Game Pass. I'm liking it so far, even though I just started it. Game Pass. Oh, are you playing it with Windows, Chalice, then? Cool, sir. Speaking of procedurally generated, Remnant 2, that's very well. Yeah, cool, sir. I want to go play Remnant 1. It's on my list of games I'll potentially stream. I actually think it will be a game that I'll enjoy streaming. Remnant 1 and 2 are on my list. Remnant 2 is a sleeper hit in that what I've read about it and what I've seen of it, it's really good. It unfortunately got released during a time when a bunch of AAA titles were getting released, and I feel like I got covered up a little bit. A little bit different market than some of these other games, but once again, it does hurt still, I think. Raichi, Starfield is good, No Man's Sky is good, Mass Effect is great, but Spores is the GOAT. Raichi, Spores is good. I have played Spores. Mass Effect is amazing. If you want to talk about all those space games, Mass Effect is by far my favorite. It's got and that's one of the things I think Starfield's missing. If I would have to say one thing Starfield is missing, and I know that it's NASA punk, because that's the new genre that they're essentially spinning off. And even my game that I'm in the middle of, like I've written out a lot of pieces for, is probably going to be nearer to NASA punk, at least for now, than it is to something like Mass Effect. Mass Effect has the aliens and really good writing and really good story. It's in there. You're in there for the main story. That's why you're there. You have side stories and stuff like that you can do, and those are tied to usually your companions, where Starfield, you can just wander and stumble upon a side quest that brings you into pirates and stuff like that. Like all Bethesda games, it has surprises and tricks up its sleeve, which is good. It always makes it fun, references, all that. I wouldn't, there's so many haters nowadays, so you always see I've seen so many people hating it. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm a little parched. Chalice, I have too many games. Baldur's Gate 3, Divinity 2, Starfield, Hogwarts, Remnant 2. I can't take it. It's a good problem to have, by the way. That's an amazing problem to have. And I agree with you. I have too many games. I have Baldur's Gate 3 to finish, but I think I'm going to circle on back to Baldur's Gate 3. I am going to take on Starfield first, as it's very addicting, and if I can get it out of my system, the quicker I can get it out of my system, the sooner I'm not going to be as obsessed with it. I'll circle back around it a while later with mods, and we're going to go over a few mods today. And there's some mods that will help fix it on the Steam Deck. A little bit of, from my understanding, they can hurt your save, so be careful. I'll preface that as we talk about that in a second. Divinity 2, even though it's very similar to Baldur's Gate 3, made by the same company, I wasn't able to get into it very easily. I need to go back and circle back and try that one again. Hogwarts is another one I need to circle back and finish. I really like. Honestly, I think I'll like it on the Ally a little bit more, because it's one of those games that just didn't perform quite well enough on the deck. Even though my wife Susie, she played over 200 hours of it, and to be fair, she probably could play more. She loved it. Okay. Coulter, Hogwarts kind of fell out of favor, didn't it? Hogwarts had some Hogwarts Coulter. Hogwarts had some controversy behind it, but at the end of the day, it was more. It was a good game. It's not going to get game of the year. I think at the beginning of the year, I think some people were thinking that it did really well because there's a lot of Potter fans, but the game wasn't a masterpiece. It was good, but it wasn't amazing. So there's my kind of like take on Hogwarts. I haven't finished it yet. I do like it though. Andromeda, Andromeda has great combat. Yes, it does. I actually like the story in Andromeda. I like the concept of why Andromeda. I like all those pieces of Andromeda. I think in almost every way it beats Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 is the hardest one to go back to. After playing 2, 3, and Andromeda a lot, 1 is just kind of, it's a good story and it's interesting. 2 and 3's stories just destroy 1, like completely. Andre, I still don't think I got to your thing. Welcome, Andre. I hope you're still here. Hope you're doing amazing. Andre, I'll play Starfield eventually. Sounds like something I would like. Building, okay, if you want, and I'm going to stream this on Twitch in a little bit, so just as a heads up, if you want to talk to me more about anything, you can go on over to my Twitch channel in a little bit, and we're going to play that. I am still working on getting more parts and stuff to do for some of these streams so that I can have a hands-on stream too where you can watch me do weird stuff. I'm still in the middle of just having a job, recovering, and all that stuff. So, with the, so at the end of the day, building those ships, I know I deviate so much. Building those ships is awesome. Okay, so I want you guys to be thinking about this, and we're gonna circle back to this in like 10 minutes. What have you liked about the podcast episodes I've released, and what have you not liked, and what would you like to see more of? And I just want a natural discussion with you guys, whether or not you're watching this live stream after the fact. You can put it in comments, or you can write it in here with my name on it. I'll get back to it. I really want to improve the podcast, and I want, like, obviously, it started out really strong, and less people are watching / listening into it. And I'm just curious, maybe you have a reason why there's certain episodes, whatever it is. I'm curious. And don't worry about offending me. I want to improve, and because I really like this project. So let's get back into what some people are saying. The Real Savage, still haven't played it yet. I've been meaning to play it via Game Pass. Game Pass. Okay, guys, cheat code kind of stuff. And maybe instead of doing Starfield giveaways, I should give away like 3 months of Game Pass. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and maybe I'll do one or the other or both. Because I am doing some giveaways this month. So yeah, interesting. The Game Pass is such a, like, you wouldn't get something like that on PlayStation. Xbox, Microsoft really makes killer deals for gamers and people that are on Xbox and PC. It's really interesting because if you didn't know this, you can go play Starfield on Game Pass, I believe, today. So the game came out, Starfield came out today. You can go play it right now on Game Pass for free if you have Game Pass. Or if you've never signed up for it before, you can go get yourself a trial and play it then. And if you play enough of it within that trial period, for free, I guess. Brink, you're really behind in chat. Yeah, I think I am too. Okay, let's see. Well, people haven't been talking as much. Okay, let's see here. So perceived wise, it doesn't look like it. But yes, I already welcomed you in, Cascoder. Cat Smith, for you, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Do I need to sing a copyright song? But no, happy birthday, man. What do you want for your birthday, Cat Smith? Do you want a big, long happy birthday song just to be noticed? Cascoder, the They optimized Hogwarts after PS4 Xbox One version released. Yeah. No, they optimized it. I don't get me wrong. I played it even after the optimization, but it's just something about it. It's just not quite as detailed, and I don't need perfection with some of those types of games. But it was just blurry enough to where I'm like, my wife's vision isn't as good as mine, and so me looking at it, I'm like, I can see the blurriness, and I've played it on the computer, and so I know what I'm missing. Streaming it's not bad. That's one game I'll stream, but I don't know what it is. It's like, I would equate it to this. I love electric cars. I'll prefer electric car almost any day over a regular car. But if you give me, let's say Prius or just a purely electric car, that's like not the fancier kind that are like muscle replacement, ones that go really fast. But then you give me, let's say, a Porsche. If you give me a choice between something that's going to sound awesome and drive well, and give me something that's like going to do amazing, just not fun, I'm gonna pick the Porsche, even though I really wanted to pick the electric car. That's what I kind of think of when I'm playing a game on my device as opposed to streaming a game to my device. It's weird. I do it sometimes. It just depends. Like Starfield, I will stream that from my PC onto my Steam Deck. I'll get it through chat, and then I'm going to talk about my play experiences a little bit. Okay, so they optimized True Blue Magic. Dude, I love Hogwarts Legacy, but the way you level up sucked. Yeah, it definitely has mechanics that need to be improved. David, welcome. Baldur's Gate 3 is the first game I played to 100 hours since Elden Ring. Gonna smash it out and move on to Starfield after they fix some bugs. I will say this. I guarantee people are reporting bugs. With my computer setup, I have a 3090 i9 Intel chip and NVIDIA chip or what else. The amount of bugs, I have not had any crashes. The bugs are pretty minimalistic in the sense that I've had some creatures fly into the air a little bit. Not even like past games. Like, this has been the most bug-free Bethesda game I have ever played. Okay, and I don't know if they meant to do this or not. I will have my companions sometimes, and I have some shorts I'm going to release on the Brink channel on YouTube. I've had my companion stared off into a rock and was talking to me. I'm over here looking at my companion, and she's talking, Sarah, at the rock. It was very funny. I laughed, but for certain people that are more serious that can't take a joke or take the bugs, where I'm like, why are you playing a Bethesda game if that's the problem? It could be off-putting, I'm sure. Okay, so, but yes, 100 games. or 100 hours. Witcher 3 is definitely worth putting over 100 hours into. 100%, David. Cascoder, even with remakes. Dead Space? Are you talking about like Dead Space and Resident Evil? Cascoder, I might need more context there. Viesta, welcome, man. How's it going? So Nintendo might be working on a VR headset. I hope so, because that means there will be a chance of Pokemon VR. You got Pokemon AR, which is honestly pretty awesome. Pokemon VR would be really weird. Evolutionary-wise, gaming consoles, gaming systems, gaming itself is going to get more virtualized. I'm not saying it's going to be 100%. I think people are still social creatures. But as generations fold and shed, us older gamers, as we get older, are going to probably stick within a same. I will probably adapt to newer stuff, but I still like traditional things a lot too. I don't need VR. I think it's going to be an interesting. I think Nintendo will. I think everyone's going to eventually do headsets of some sort, whether or not it's being plugged into your Neuralink or whatever. But something eventually is going to come. Whether it's 100 years from now, who knows? Games are going to evolve. Quiltzer, this is in response to what does my podcast need more of? Nudity. And you know what? You better be. Ugh. No, I'm just kidding. I have to work out some more before I do my nude calendar. Okay, nearly nude calendar. I'll have a different helmet on for every month of the year in my nearly nude, or I'll have it in front of certain bits and parts. Dead Space will be in February when Dead Space was released. It is what it is. So, Rachie, hey, we are here instead of playing Starfield. Love the content. Rachie, thank you. You show up so often. It's so good to see the support. I love it. Yeah, what do you want more of it? What more content do you want, Rachie? Yes, and you could be. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna be playing Starfield in a little bit. When we get done with this, you're more than welcome to throw me up on your phone, watch me while you play Starfield. I am totally down for a little play along like that. Yeah, let's do that. And then Wolf mentioning I'm really behind in chat. Andre, I have watched almost all your podcasts apart from the last one. The subject was not interesting for me, but all the others, I love the content and the discussions. Thank you. I know that's what I was a little afraid of with Jared. I would love it though if people could go on and with this newest podcast episode, give it a try. You don't have to, if you don't want, but we have some fun in it. Andre, you and whoever is a member, if you're not a member, I would highly recommend, if you like my content, to become a member of YouTube or of the Patreon. I'm still working on the Patreons, and I'm going to be, like I've mentioned multiple times, I'm going to be, and I haven't promoted this, so I don't think there's anyone that's a part of this yet, but I'm going to be, and this is the part where I'm working on it. I know I'm always saying I'm working on stuff. I will be working on this. I do get more money through Patreon than I do YouTube, but YouTube gives you like the controllers, which honestly I think is so cool. Because so how it works, you'll see in the chat right here. I'm going to do a little deviation. The chat has the controllers, right, with the different colors. That shows how many months of commitment you have and all that. I love seeing that because every time a new month happens, I get to see people have different colored controllers. Even if you're new, it feels so cool to just see the care and love. I like donations through like super chats and all that, but honestly, and you don't need to do it every month. Like a little secret here is if you want to unlock, I have a ton. So we're gonna have the first episode doesn't have a bonus piece to it, but I am going to be doing an interview with Susie and a little bit more personalized her gaming experience in her life with the first one. So I'm going to record it and act like it's the first episode's bonus level. If you look over here, and why I'm saying giving you all this is that this probably needs to be unpinned. You can find it on YouTube or here. I'm going to be adjusting prices. I haven't finalized prices. If you do this, whatever, I'm not going to go higher. So don't worry, I'm not going to go higher in prices. I might go lower potentially and balance out YouTube's and this one's. I'm still working on like what you're going to get with this. Bare minimum right now, I am going to be having new cutscenes for the YouTube for podcasts. At the end of the podcast, probably after the guest or whoever I'm doing, I will read out thank yous on tiers enlightened and up, and revealed will show on the screen. This is very, very nice and helpful. Eventually, once I get enough of these, I actually wouldn't mind paying some of the guests to come on, just to give them a little bit of a tipperoo. But you can go and watch people. So the bonus ones are a little bit more personal, meaning even if you don't like the subject matter that was in the main episode, you might like the subject matter in the bonus. Like, who is Jared that lives in Japan? Jared Avalanche Reviews actually has some really good reviews. Like I really like his analysis on a lot of stuff. He's a very interesting guy. I highly recommend watching the bonus episode of episode 7 if you can get access to it. Part of the reason there's a various. I don't need to explain totally why I'm putting it behind a paywall. The reason why I do that is just so there's extra content. And the people that really do care about these bonus ones, because I do take care in like asking interesting questions or going down interesting, like The Spicy Life of Mikhail was an interesting one. Japan. But I really dig down into life and how it's like and why he's there and some of the stuff. Like, he just became a full-time YouTuber, even though he's had I think he's been in the hundreds of thousands of subs for a while now. But he wanted to live in Japan so bad that, oh yeah, Cascoder, you're gonna be back on the episode. Don't worry, Cascoder, it's right here. We just need to get your video working. And it's interesting, his story of how he ended up in Japan. He's only been there for about, I think, a year or two. I think he's originally from Florida. He does metal, heavy metal, or I don't know about heavy metal, but he does some sort of metal. He was in a metal band, and it goes to venues there in Tokyo. And honestly, it was fascinating. I loved it. But yeah, episode 6, you get to get to know me a little bit more and some of my past and what kind of brought me to where I am at. Mr. Chimballs himself is also another interesting one, and seeing his past and who he is. You got the life of a VTuber is an interesting one, where we get to learn about high tech, low life, and some of the things that formed some of the things that you'd be surprised that he's not as into as you thought he would be. And where do Cascoders come from? Like, Cascoder's inception out of the birth canal. No, I'm just kidding. So hopefully that wasn't too long of a little of an ad. It wasn't really an ad. If you're more than welcome to become a member here or on YouTube. You're more than welcome either place. YouTube will give you a little bit more leeway when it comes to like visually showing your support. I'm reworking the YouTube benefits a little bit more, and I'm always looking to add better benefits. The Patreon, while the YouTube one will have this, it's a lot easier for the Patreon. The deck revealed, I'm going to be closing that and refunding some of the money back, and I'm going to be pushing people to come over to the games revealed from the deck revealed. Deck revealed is taking a drastic change on some of the funding for the near future, meaning I'm not going to really be doing a lot of funding in the future. I'm going to be making sure the app's solid before I start asking for money from it. In the middle of just pivoting on that, because it's such a complicated system. It's thousands. I've written thousands and tens of thousands and potentially even 100,000 lines of code for the games revealed, and I did that very quickly. So it's going to be wrapping into the games revealed. I'm going to, when it comes to monetization, it's going to be based off of games revealed, Bunny Strike, or like the studio Bunny Strike for my game, and potentially the Brink channel. But those are the two. One helps me get guests, and it helps me buy things and review things, and gets me promoting more with the games revealed. The Bunny Strike one helps go towards building my video game. So yeah, hopefully you guys aren't too bored. You're more than welcome to keep talking or asking questions. We're going to get back into Starfield here in a second. Andre, have a good night, man. Thank you for stopping by, and go give the episode 7's the guest one a try. It is pretty good, actually. Let's get back into all the shit I am behind on. True Blue Magic Dude, happy birthday isn't copyrighted anymore. Oh, it isn't? Well, I don't want to get sued. You know how those people are. They like to claim everything on YouTube. Andre, yeah. Andre's honestly, Andre, just the support alone helps. So thank you. That Cat Smith for you. I'm not particularly wanting anything specific. Okay. Well, just know that Cat Smith for you. Happy birthday. Cascoder was asking about the remake of Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 was not a true remake. It was a remaster. So, Cascoder, those are remasters, not remakes. So what went into the remastering of Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 was a more fluid combat system, a couple of optimizations, but Mass Effect 1 while I think the combat systems is a little better, there's a little things that are a little better. It's still not as good as Mass Effect 2 in the combat and everything else. I think it's supposed to be pretty close, but I'm just saying, like, they did fix the combat for the most part. Still not perfect. It's the story. It's just really slow, and a couple of beats are missed when it compared to Mass Effect 2 and 3, where it's just almost always a banger throughout the whole thing. Cascoder, many Starfield companions prefer to walk, talk, get into walls for some reason. That is a Bethesda game. Like, if you're expecting anything else, I don't even know if they're going to fix that. They're like, that's a feature, not a bug. Sergio, Diaz, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but welcome. Nintendo really sold cardboard to people. No, yeah, true. It's not a bad idea. It's just the problem is price. They always price things way more than they should, and that was their problem. Yes, and then don't forget to smash that like button with your crowbar. And if you have not yet, subscribe. Do so for more great content. Okay, True Blue Magic Dude. I think my most buggy experience playing a video game was Devil May Cry on PS3. Really, I didn't have one playthrough of that bug-free, and it's a short game. I don't remember having bugs in that game. I'm sure I did. I just probably, back then, people want to say, back in the days when we had to ship it on disc, there was no bugs or anything. Yeah, no. We had so many custom games, so many custom engines. Like, things were so much buggier than people remember. It's really weird what a nostalgia drug does to people. They remember things being pristine and perfect. They were not. Wolf hating the bot. Brain dropping. Games revealed to a whole new level. Lol. Wait. Brain dropping. Well, welcome. And what new level? Was it one of the things I was covering with the other stuff? Coolzer, I thought a podcast was audio. So, Coolzer, no, there are video podcasts. If you go to Spotify, you'll see a lot of podcasts are video. You don't have to watch my podcasts. You can listen to them. The reason why there's a video is I do video anyways. I'm a video person more so these days than I am audio. It is nice to not have to not deal with the face and talk. But at the end of the day, it makes it a little bit easier to be more personable if you can see the face, and it's a bonus. You don't have to watch. You can always listen, but the option's there. So on YouTube, I think you might have to have premium though, but you can start listening to the podcasts, put them in your pocket, and just listen. I do that too with some certain podcasts. Certain podcasts I'll watch, and sometimes, like at times, and other times I put it in my pocket and listen. So it's back and forth on that. When it comes to me and Susie, when we do our episodes, it's probably more fun to watch them because sometimes I'll do little cues. And Susie one time bashed the keyboard and stopped our recording, so we had to get it all back up and going because she got so animated. So it was funny. Yeah. Cascader, wait, that means you listened to me and might have liked the episode. Yes, of course. A bunch of people listen to you, Cascader. That episode did fairly decent. Once again, this is how the podcast episode or the podcast is going to go. What it's doing right now, it's kind of like it did really well. And then now, like since probably the third episode, it's been going down a little bit. Like with every episode I release, it's a little bit less watched or listened to, which I'm not like uber concerned. I am a little concerned. I just want to make sure I'm bringing good content to you and what you want. It is going to be gaming and hardware related. It's not going to be one or the other, at least for now. It's going to be covering various amounts of different topics. I'll be bringing on different panel members to guests, me and Susie, whatever it is, until we find a really good balance. So that's why I try to get feedback. Curious what you guys think. It's going to be 1 to 2 times a week, just because I want to hit that 50 mark with podcasts. Once you get about 30 to 50 episodes is when everything starts to get really solid. And so I need to get back my podcasting muscles in, as I've done podcasts before in the past, and I have another podcast I will be ramping up soon. Okay. Fine Smash. Hey, survival horror expert. What do you think about the new Subliminal trailer? I don't know if I've seen the new Subliminal trailer. Let's put that on the docket to watch before we get into the next topic. Subliminal trailer. One of the things I like about, we'll watch this here in a second. One of the things I like about, come on, pause. Doing these types of games. So there's certain games I will play when I'm doing playthrough or when I'm streaming and all that. It's because I get the best reactions. You're going to get the best me when I play those types of games. That's why I don't play certain other games. I can be a little boring with them right now. This is my phase in life. That's just how it is. I got to have the horror to wake me up from the kids that keep me down to sleep, tired, not in any other way. Even though dealing with kids can be more than that sometimes. But yes, Fight Smash. We'll get to that. Thank you for the suggestion. Yuripa. I got 30 hours in Starfield and barely moved in the main story. I've been playing it on my 3080 PC and Steam Deck at work. Nice. You streaming it from your PC or from your PC to your work? That'd be pretty killer. What do I have? Oof. I have let's see who's all playing that's on here. I have 28. 28, and I have progressed okay in the story, honestly. Not too bad. And that's because here's the secret to a lot of these games. You want to venture out and get used to the game, but then you want to focus back into the main story and get it done with because you level up really quick from doing that. And then you can go back out and finish all the side stuff, and you'll at least be a higher level and enjoy it a little bit more because you level up much quicker doing the main quest. Cascoder, Nintendo Labo was a return on investment from all the unsold Wii U boxes. Oh, no. That is brutal, Cascoder. I thought you liked Nintendo. Cascoder, we'll put that on note, Nintendo. Cascoder does not like you, as he just blasted the hell out of you. Jokes all aside. Jokes. True Blue Magic Dude, I'm talking about the PS3 version specifically. I had one bug where my enemy... I played the PS3 version. I know what you're talking about. Where my enemies were invisible. The Mundus boss fight fused with a skyscraper. I couldn't attack. Oh, you know what? Which Devil May Cry are you talking about? Oh, yeah, that one did have more. Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. I still don't remember having like anything that ruined the whole story for me. I think maybe I'd have to go back, and it's been so long. I've played a lot of the Devil May Cry. Honestly, a really underrated franchise. I wish would come back in its more pure form. I don't know. I need to go back and play some of the older some of the reboot. The reboot I haven't played. There's just I love those hack and slash games. I just haven't. Fine Smash. You have the same listener count arc as most TV show episodes in a season. Skip a minute into the trailer. What? The same listener count arc as most TV show episodes in a season? I don't know what that means. Bisexual Blurred, welcome, welcome, welcome. Leave the Wii U alone. It was better than everyone gives it credit for. The Wii U was... No, I think a lot of people understand that the Wii U was an innovative device. Amazing device. Not enough games. And they just didn't... People didn't know quite how to develop for it, and Nintendo just didn't support it very well. It almost really tanked them in some ways. Yuripa played Fallout 3 on 360 before I had internet, so no patches and had a bug where the end area of the game glitch. Glitch texture and made it unviewable. Fallout 3 in New Vegas were buggy as hell. It's the first Fallout series that was 3D. All the other Fallout 1 and 2 were top down. Bethesda games. Or yeah. And then I think Elder Scrolls, Morrowind, and Oblivion. I can't remember if I think Oblivion came out before Fallout 3. I could be wrong about that. Those are 3D. Fine Smash TV shows typically have slowly declining viewer count from the season premiere, then peak at the end of the season. Are you saying that we have the same listening? So yeah, well, I sometimes talk about boring stuff and it gets people like attention spans lost a little bit. So please stick around. If it's not for me, for the children in chat, the revealers of the children. I don't know what I'm going with this. We're gonna get to subliminal in there in a second, so don't worry. Okay, what I want to talk about real quick before we get to there is the Steam Deck Essentials FPS and QO Quality of Life beta. Keep an eye on this thing. I'm going to throw it out here. I am going to throw it here with a big preface. Mods can have bugs, can have viruses in them. Be careful with mods. But, and especially this one, they might have fixed it already. I looked through the files and through the changelog, and I couldn't quite see them saying it fixed an issue, like the saved game issues. But they had an issue where with the original one that potentially was ruining people's saved games. So if you got, let's say, you're 30 hours in, you're like, okay, I want to play on the Steam Deck. I'm gonna mod it, and then it just ruins your save game and it doesn't cache properly. You should be able to, as long as you don't re-upload that save game, potentially cache it. I guess, like in the sense that you can maybe get the cache from Steam. What I recommend doing is probably ripping the save game out, like saving it out, and then doing it is my recommendation. But yes, if you are playing Starfield on the Steam Deck, you can expect much better performance with this. And when I say much better, is that it might make some of the cities playable. I'm not going to promise you amazing stats, but it's pretty good. I'm not surprised. Here's the thing that weirds me out. Probably what they did, or what modders did, was maybe they limited draw distance. Maybe there's so many things they could do to optimize it to still look almost the same, but have better performance in these areas. Maybe reducing the NPC count. Maybe saying, hey, if you're a citizen, just get rid of you. There's so many different ways. I know that's like that's what Cyberpunk did. People didn't like it. Blah, 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 whatever. All I know is that there are ways to optimize these games to play decently enough on the Steam Deck. That being said, I'm sure they're running around with their heads cut off, trying to make sure that this is a very smooth launch, which so far it has been the smoothest Bethesda launch I've ever been a part of, which makes it funny that people are still complaining about it. Fallout 76 was a nightmare of a launch. And Fallout 4, I don't remember it being too bad, but still had some issues in the beginning, like some pretty funny issues. Fallout New Vegas was a nightmare on PC. Like almost half the people couldn't play it for the first few weeks. Because it was specific to, I think, NVIDIA cards, or was AMD. I can't remember. It was one or the other. A modder actually fixed it. Like, it was unplayable. New Vegas was not playable for half the people for a few weeks until, it was playable after a week after a modder fixed it, which is hilarious. But Bethesda didn't fix it for another 2 to 3 weeks, the New Vegas one. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. Playing Skyrim on the PS3 without patch. Ooh, Freichi, yeah, that's rough. Quiltzer plays fine on the Ally, no mod required. Quiltzer, it plays amazingly on the Ally, with the exception of it doesn't look as good as on my PC. This is how I play. This I'm gonna get to my play style here in a second. You guys are gonna know the secrets. all the secrets. They're not really that big of secrets, but cool, sir. I'm glad you brought that up. Reishi, I dislike the flood of unnamed NPCs. I don't care, personally. I'm fine, because the thing is, there's going to be a lot of, like, you're not going to be able to talk to everyone, recruit everyone, and everything like that. It would be cool to, and I bet you there's going to be a mod that says, hey, you could recruit anyone to your Starfield, to your base. That would be a fun challenge. Honestly, there's a couple of things. I'm really, because I have the deck revealed / revealed project to work on. I don't want more software projects on my plate beyond my game in that. I want to make a mod. I want to do a Steam Deck mod, or I want to do these types of. I want to do a mod, but I'm trying not to. We'll see though. We'll see. Because that would be a fun one. Every citizen's recruitable, and then you could recruit the whole galaxy and just have them on one planet. That'd be pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Okay. Yes, but cool, sir. It plays fine on the Ally. This is how I play a game. This is how I play Starfield. I've arguably played it, not arguably, definitively played it the least amount on the Steam Deck. How I play it on the Steam Deck is I don't play it natively on the Steam Deck. It is streamed from my PC to my Steam Deck, and to be fair, that's a better. It looks much better. The battery lasts a lot better, and I like the controls slightly better. How they rest on the Steam Deck. Beyond that, though, it doesn't look as crisp. Even with all that, the Ally has a 1080 screen. It's got a little bit more pixels pushed to it. It looks better. The screen just color-wise too looks better. It really goes to show you, the Ally shows you that Steam Deck really needs a better screen. And when I say better, it needs a higher resolution screen. So I've probably played it for 10 hours on the ROG Ally. Probably maybe more like 15. I've probably played half on the ROG Ally, the other half on my PC. Sometimes when I wake up, over the past few days, I start playing the game on my ROG Ally. I wake up because it's right next to my bed, and I can just chill, wake up, drink some coffee while I play. And when I play in the ROG Ally, how I play it is I go out and do the side missions. I go out and explore. I go out and do various things that don't necessarily need to look as good, or I don't care about as much. They're chore things. Sometimes I'll even throw on some YouTube and watch while I do my chores in Starfield. I know it sounds that's really nerdy of me. A masterclass in geekness. But any other time I play, like usually the main story or anything else, I try to play it on my main PC, as it does like I get it more immersed on the experience on my main PC. I've even plugged in my and I need to make sure that it might have been playing at 4K, because it wasn't actually skipping. It was just feeling a little laggy, but not like performance lag. I don't know. It was weird. But I have my PS5 controller hooked up to my ROG Ally on my 4K TV upstairs, and it looked good. Like, to be fair, it looked pretty good. Like, FSR was doing a good job. It further proves that these small devices are pretty good on a large screen TV. I would love to see an improved one, though. I'm really curious. I don't know. We'll see with these other devices coming out. We're just so close on the cusp of just having a console in our hand at all times and not needing a PLA station and all that. It's, yeah. But that's how I do it. I even played with my son. I let him play a little bit. Let him take down, like a hooker gang of drug dealers. He loved it. Learned a lot. It was a life lesson. No, I'm just kidding. I just let him wander around. Told him not to get in too much trouble so it doesn't autosave and all that. And lo and behold, he stole from something. So I just restarted it. As I usually try to be a little bit more of a paragon of good in this game. Sometimes I'll go back and I'll play as like wishy-washy depending on what. Like in Skyrim, it was fun to just go and steal stuff when people weren't looking, right? Starfield, yeah, fun stuff. So let's get into a couple of things real quick. A couple more things. So that's how I play it. I guess that's kind of like revealing. It plays really well on the Ally. It's very unfortunate for the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck, it's almost unplayable in certain areas that I've tried. With the patches are helping, everything's helping. So I haven't played in the most recent because it just works on my Ally. It just works. I can pick it up, play it. Albeit, Coulter's not going to like this. The the resume and suspend feature is still quite a bit better on the Steam Deck than it is on the ROG Ally. But the ROG Ally does work better than some of the past devices I've used for that. It's not perfect on the Ally though. Okay, so Cascoder, I had to patch my drivers on AMD to get the games to load the Lodge, but it's been running fine. Oh, you like on your Steam Deck, you had to patch the drivers, or you had to patch the AMD drivers on your, because you got a new AMD GPU, right? Yeah. So preface on the ROG Ally, and Coulter recommended this, and I never got back to you on the second thing. I was out driving, just as a heads up, Coulter. I was out driving with my kids, and I didn't have cell service some of the time. It is a guide, but I am thinking about it, Coulter. I think it's a good idea to make a guide on how to update the AMD drivers on the ROG Ally. It's not, that's one of the things I don't know why they didn't. They just need to include a downloader. All they needed for Armory was a downloader that downloads the thing and starts the setup. That's all they needed. I don't know why they screwed that up. So you have to go looking for the drivers to update in order for the Starfield to play properly. I couldn't get it to play properly in certain areas, just like kind of like what Classcoder was saying on the Ally until I updated my drivers. Coulter, isn't this the first Bethesda launch since Microsoft bought the company? Probably. There could have been like a side thing for Doom or something. I don't know. But probably. True Blue Magic Dude, I remember seeing a new Vegas glitch where the doctor at the start had his head spinning around like Exorcist. I died laughing. That's the thing. That's the thing that I really am I'm a little upset about. I don't think people appreciated what they had. I'll say that. Hard take. I think people were selfish back then. We were given all these great humorous experiences where people's heads were turning. The doctor, his head, because the engine had major issues with the way it rendered the polygons, and a polygon could get stuck and it would stretch the texture out. So it stretched their head out and like into a corner of the screen, and it would look all weird and everything. And it would do that. And yes, it's off-putting, but if you reload the game, it fixes it typically. But it was fun. And for me, it was a good time. Like, who wouldn't love something like that? I like silly stuff. That's why I liked Andromeda's bugs. I found them nostalgically heartwarming. Well, it sounded like I said warming, but warming. But yes, True Blue Magic Dude, great on you on that reference. Cascoder, you don't need an Xbox to play on Samsung Smart TV Gaming Hub. There you go. There, you could also stream there's a lot of different ways to play. Can you mod a PlayStation to do Xbox streaming? I wonder if there's a homebrew Xbox streaming. So you're like, I have Game Pass on my Xbox that I stream to my PlayStation, and just like the hypocrisy. You're going to get canceled by Bethesda. And that means essentially you're getting assassinated. But yeah. Coulter, your kids must love doing their chores. Oh. Their chores is flying to some random place and picking up a bunch of loot. And I pick up almost everything. At least it has a certain value over a certain amount. And then I hobble on back to the ship. And then I go to a shipyard and sell them. And if it's sells all out, I go and sleep and then sell it there, or go to another place in the town to sell stuff. I am all about that cha-ching of just selling all the people's belongings that I killed. Cascoder, for the suspend and resume, change your power button to hibernation instead of suspend. I've had no problems using hibernation. It also uses less power than suspend. I'll have to give it a try. Once again, it's not like it's major problems. It's just the experience is better. That's it. Ray Cheese, Sonic Adventures. And when I did one game with a suspend and like it crashed the game, but I haven't had issues with other games. It's just a notice. Richie, Sonic Adventure, 1,000 glitches that makes you fall off the map. 10 out of 10 game for me. Yeah, Richie. That's it. Like, games are fun when they break. Okay, guys. We are going to be... did I answer everything? If you guys have more questions for me, shoot. If you have not seen the podcast or watched the newest one or any of the podcast episodes, please do so. It's a format that I love doing. If you want to watch me chat with someone else in very fun and different ways, like I get serious in some, I get silly in others, like the one with Susie, we talk about impregnated cinnamon rolls with alien, like xenomorphs from Alien because of Dead Space. It's a fun time. I love doing it. And so whether I just want to make sure that the guests I have on get supported well. I'd love to see them walking away with like, you know what, I was awesome. I had a great warm welcome from the Games Revealed community, and I also really enjoyed talking. And that's what I like doing the podcast episodes. I've been wanting to bring the podcast back for a year now. I just didn't know which way to do it. I've obviously done it multiple different ways. Right here, I wouldn't say rock, paper. I don't know. This is, I think, a decent list of starting out of mods that you can check out. Vine Smash 7 for 7 on the podcast. Congrats, man. If I could give away, I kind of wish Twitch was like Twitch. If I could give away memberships, I would every once in a while. I can't remember if you remember on anything, but I need to figure that out, because anyone that's monetarily like helped, I'd love to unlock as many of these episodes as possible for them, like the bonus levels. But the bonus levels by Smash are really good. Okay, I will stop talking because I know people will get tired of me promoting certain things. But yes, Vine Smash, thank you for honestly, just watching them is a huge support. I'm not, I just do the bonus level stuff, like I said earlier, to do certain things. But those episodes are really good too. The bonus levels for each one. Cool, sir. Cascader, what are you talking about? I have a house full of new Samsung TVs, but I buy them for wall decor, so I'm unaware. I honestly could see that, cool, sir. I could totally see that. Okay, guys, let's watch this thing.
Warning. Viewer discretion is advised.
What do you have us watching?
Embark on your experience. Please take note and remember these few tips to ensure a safe and pleasant journey.
Oh yeah, while we're watching this, if you have one more thing to add in, please do so. Because this is going to be our last thing that we're doing. And if you have any more questions, anything else, ask away.
Stay calm and composed. Panic can cloud your judgment and disorient you. Take a moment to take a deep breath, relax, and continue along your journey. Use your light source to help you navigate through the experience. Doing this ensures that there are no unwanted...
Okay, we're going to continue. It's always fun to see like when they do little things like that, but it does... Oh, yes. It looks so real. It looks so real, guys. It's got to be the filter and the textures. They probably scan the textures in themselves. Or maybe it could be some real footage. Maybe, I don't know. No, it's not. This is like keep your heads up. This is like backroom style stuff, right? Like this is like the backroom. That is so crazy. Honestly, that is such a crazy. Vine Smash, they are claiming all in-game footage. Yeah. No, and I get that. Well, it's all in-game, but the thing is, the scan, like the way it looks, this is a real chair. Like this is, I don't even think this is fully modeled. I think this is scanned in, like it is a model, but it's just scanned in chair. You can barely tell with certain things that this is not real, I think. But that's what's giving me really weird, it's really weird. It looks good. It looks weird because it messes with my mind. It's gonna mess with Wolf's mind for sure. Too bad it's not set inside a mortuary. Cool. Yeah, I know. I would be playing it. Quilter is right. Like if it was a mortuary, I'd be playing this. I'm not gonna play this game. Quilter, I don't know. You probably missed out. Like if you watch, like I don't play games on the Games Revealed YouTube as much because it deviates from kind of what Games Revealed is. If you want to watch me play, I play a lot of different games than mortuary. Look at that. Oh, so crazy. On Twitch. Speaking of, we're going to be ending this here in a second. And you can find me over at twitch.tv/th3brink. You can follow me there. I stream Monday, sometimes Wednesday, and Friday. So I always stream Mondays and Fridays unless it's a holiday. Wednesdays is, if it's a really long one of these, I don't stream typically. But today we're going to be streaming. We're going to be streaming some Back 4 Blood. I am going to take a quick break, though, and go get something. I need to go fill up my water because my mouth is very dry right now. Vine Smash, the visuals are really surreal on this. This is going to be a fun one, I think, this stream. It's going to be this. They won't even have to put creepy things in. You're going to see me visually disturbed by playing this game because it's uncanny. I usually have uncanny valley effects with people and like characters, animated characters, of course, or whatever, or tweaked characters that have been photoshopped. This is going to give me uncanny valley effects with just the world, which might be one of the first times. I know there's another game, whatever it's freaking called, that's also going to do this to me too, and it's scarier. Wolf, Back 4 Blood. I didn't get the invite. Wait, what? Back 4 Blood? Did I say Back 4 Blood? I'm playing Starfield. Did I say it wrong? Am I going crazy? Okay, guys. Also, youtube.com. I have my TH3BRNK channel there to subscribe. I will be doing more that lies within the games that I play, the stuff I cover, which can include, because I do like anything that's funny or disturbing, and both sometimes is what I cover there. I will probably also do some vlogging on that channel too, as that's just a fun way to get my vlog, get some of these stories out without me diving too deep into like this stuff on Games Revealed. So, Coulter, thank you. Wolf, thank you. I meant Starfield. I am tired. So just so it's a little note when we're leaving. I woke up at 4 and then I started working because I'm like, okay, I know if I wait, I'm gonna fall asleep in like a couple hours and I won't be able to work. And so my sleep's been screwed up for the past 2 days. Yeah, I did not get nearly enough sleep. But with that being said, we're done here. We're gonna go play some Starfield for an hour. Who knows? Something like that. So Vine Smash, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys over on Twitch if you're going to be there. I mean, if you're enjoying it, why not continue on over into Twitch and we can chat. You can hang out on my channel. I will be live in about, like I said, 2 minutes, probably. I need to go up and get my water filled up. So have a good night. Thank you, Vine Smash. Thanks you, everyone, for coming and showing up, and the support. It means a ton, a lot, everything to me. Have a good one. Peace out.